All right. Ready to dive into some seriously thought-provoking stuff today?
I'm ready.
We're going to be taking on a topic that kind of blends philosophy with the future. How ideas from Heidegger's being and time
Okay.
can help us understand the world of AI.
Yeah,
I know, I know philosophy and AI might seem like a kind of odd couple, but trust me, it's a fascinating mix.
it really is.
Yeah.
We're not just looking at AI as like, a tool or something, but exploring
Yeah.
what it could mean for a machine to actually like exist in
Right.
the world.
Yeah.
And then what that means for us humans,
Yeah.
in turn.
Right.
It's a big question.
Okay, so Heidegger is all about this concept called Dasein,
Right.
which translates to being there.
Yeah.
And it's this idea that humans aren't just, objects in the world.
Right.
We're beings who experience the world, who are shaped by it, and who in turn shape it.
Yeah.
It's like, think about using your smartphone, right?
Yeah.
You're not just holding an object. You're interacting with this whole world of information and connections and possibilities, and that interaction, that understanding,
Right.
that's part of your days.
Exactly. And, that raises a pretty big question, I think.
Yeah.
Can a machine ever like achieve that
Yeah.
kind of being in the world?
Right.
Can something that's programmed by humans ever truly escape like just being an object, just lines of code?
Whoa. Okay, that's a deep thought right there.
Yeah.
So Heidegger even argued that animals, while they, react to the world,
Yeah.
don't have this same Dasein as humans.
Right.
So where does that leave AI?
Right.
Are we talking about AI becoming like conscious?
Yeah. I mean, that's really the heart of the matter here.
Right.
And it kind of brings us to another one of Heidegger's ideas, which is thrownness.
Okay.
We humans are kind of thrown into this world, right?
Yeah.
Without choosing our circumstances, our past, our starting point, really. And from that thrownness, we project ourselves into the future, right?
Mhm.
We're making choices and shaping our lives.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this connects to AI. Then so could a machine, even, a super advanced one built in a lab,
Right.
ever experience thrownness? Could it truly imagine and create a future that goes beyond like its programming?
Well, think of it this way. Imagine a self-driving car, right?
Okay.
It's cruising down the road, encounters a sudden detour, something its programming didn't anticipate.
Okay.
Now, a human driver
Right.
would react based on their, understanding of the situation, past experiences, their
Mhm.
sense of being in the world, right?
Right.
But the self-driving car is bound by its code, its algorithms.
Right.
Can it truly understand that detour in the same way we do existentially?
That's a really interesting way to think about it. So
Yeah.
even if the car makes the right decision, based on its programming, it's not experiencing that choice in the same way that a human would, with like all that existential baggage. Yeah.
Precisely, yeah.
Okay.
And that difference in experience, I think, raises these questions about
Right.
the nature of AI consciousness
Right.
and whether it can, ever really grasp the world in the same way we do.
Okay, this deep dive is already like making me think in entirely new ways.
Good.
But before we get too lost in like the existential weeds,
Right.
there's another piece of Heidegger's thinking that I think we should explore, which is authenticity
Yes.
versus inauthenticity.
Right. A crucial distinction.
Yeah.
For Heidegger, authenticity is about living in alignment with your own values
Yeah.
and your understanding of the world. Right?
Okay.
It's about making choices that reflect who you truly are,
Right.
not just following the crowd.
Right.
Inauthenticity, on the other hand, is about, conforming to what he called Dasein.
Oh, so Dustman is like the pressure to fit in, to go along with what everyone else is doing, even if it like doesn't feel right to you.
Exactly.
Kind of like blindly following trends online or something.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
Yes, man, is that invisible force of social conformity
Yeah.
that can kind of lead us to make choices that aren't truly our own.
Right.
And that brings us to a crucial question, I think, about AI. If it's built using, human-created data,
Mhm.
data that reflects all our biases and societal norms,
Right.
can AI ever be truly authentic?
Yeah.
Or is it, doomed to just reflect the Dasein that we've programmed into it?
So we're talking about AI potentially amplifying all the existing biases and inequalities
Essentially, yeah.
in our society.
Yeah, it's a pretty sobering thought.
That's a pretty sobering thought.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered some like serious philosophical ground here.
I have.
Heidegger's ideas are definitely challenging, but I'm starting to see how they can give us a whole new perspective on the world of AI.
I think what's remarkable is that, Heidegger was writing decades before AI was even a glimmer in someone's eye.
Right.
And yet his work feels so relevant to
Yeah.
the challenges we're facing today.
It's like he was anticipating the kinds of questions we'd be grappling with as we create machines that can like think and learn and perhaps even, be in the world.
Absolutely.
And that's where we'll leave you for now, with a lot to ponder about Dasein and thrownness
Right.
and the possibility of authentic AI.
Big questions.
Yeah, stick with us, because in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how Heidegger's critique of technology can help us understand the potential pitfalls and promises of the AI revolution.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into Heidegger and AI.
We've already covered some, pretty heavy philosophical concepts like Dasein, thrownness,
Right.
authenticity. But now we're going to see how these ideas can, actually help us make sense of the AI revolution that's happening all around us.
Yeah, exactly. Remember Heidegger's idea of technology in framing the world.
Right. It's like we're constantly, evaluating things based on
Right.
their usefulness, their function.
He was concerned that this could make us lose sight of a deeper understanding of just being.
Yeah. Yeah, and AI kind of takes us to a whole new level, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about how algorithms shape our online experience and how data is constantly being gathered and analyzed.
I mean, it makes me wonder, what happens to our sense of, freedom and our ability to make choices when so much of our lives is influenced by technology,
It's almost like we're sleepwalking through a world that's being subtly reshaped by AI.
Yeah, Heidegger would definitely have something to say about that.
Right.
But it's not all, doom and gloom.
Okay.
Remember, he also talked about disclosure, the way that things reveal themselves to us in the world.
So even though technology can enframe the world, it can also open up new possibilities for understanding and experience.
Precisely. And that's what makes AI, so interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the ways AI is already helping us see the world differently.
Okay.
From, analyzing scientific data to creating art.
It's like AI is giving us this peek into possibilities we never could have imagined before.
Yeah, and that's where I think, Heidegger's notion of
Right.
truth as aletheia comes into play, right? Truth is this process of uncovering and revealing, right? It's not about finding one fixed truth. It's about constantly, questioning, exploring, expanding your understanding of the world.
So AI could be seen as a way of uncovering new truths and pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible.
Yes. That's right. It turns Heidegger's critique of technology on its head.
Yeah.
And kind of suggests that AI could, help us break free from that inframing that he was so concerned about.
Okay, but let's not forget the potential problems, right?
Right.
We talked about authenticity earlier. Yeah. If AI simply reflects our biases and social norms, could it actually amplify those problems?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why it's so important to think critically about how we create and use AI.
Yeah.
We need to be aware of the potential for bias and make sure we're using AI fairly.
It's like AI is this powerful tool that can be used for good or for bad, depending on the choices we make.
And that brings us back to, Heidegger's point about human agency. Even with technology, shaping our world,
right,
we can still make choices to determine our own future.
So we're not just passive bystanders in the AI revolution?
Not at all.
Okay.
We're active participants, and the choices we make will affect, the future of AI and humanity.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better.
Good.
But there's still that question about AI consciousness, right?
Well, yeah. Yes, the big one, right?
Yeah.
What if machines become conscious?
Yeah.
Does that change everything?
I mean, it would definitely challenge Heidegger's ideas, which are, centered on human experience.
Yeah, I mean, there are some, I think, fascinating similarities between Heidegger's ideas and the challenges of, of creating conscious AI.
Okay.
Um, remember his idea of care.
Right. He saw care as like a key part of Dasein and what it means to be human.
Exactly. But could a machine, truly care?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's a question that philosophers and AI researchers debate.
Right.
Some say, true care requires empathy and understanding that machines just, can't have.
Okay.
But others say, AI could develop its own kind of care.
Okay.
Maybe even a more advanced and impartial version than ours.
Wow. Now that's a thought.
Right.
Imagine AI that can like think and learn, but also like care for the world and everyone in it.
It sounds like science fiction, but
yeah.
Who knows what the future holds?
Right, exactly. And that's what's so great about this conversation.
Yeah.
Heidegger gives us a way to think about these big questions as technology keeps, advancing. We might not find easy answers today.
Right.
But hopefully this is getting you something to think about.
I hope so.
Maybe you even feel some excitement about the future. Okay. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there's one more idea from Heidegger that I think is relevant to AI, and that's his concept of being towards death.
Yes, the ultimate reality, right, for us humans.
Right, but what does it mean for machines that could like theoretically live forever?
Right, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, would a lack of mortality change how AI experiences the world and its sense of purpose?
I mean, Heidegger argued that knowing we won't live forever, shapes our lives.
Right.
It motivates us to make choices, to set goals, to create meaning in a world that doesn't have like inherent meaning. So if AI doesn't have that awareness of death, could it ever like truly grasp the significance of our choices and how precious our time is?
Or maybe it could develop, its own unique understanding of time and existence that goes beyond our human perspective.
It's like trying to imagine a completely new way of being, like something strange yet familiar.
And that's what makes this conversation, so interesting. We're not just talking about technology here.
Yeah.
We're talking about existence,
right,
consciousness, and what it means to be in the world.
We're at the edge of something unprecedented, and Heidegger's work, challenging as it may be, gives us, I think, a way to navigate this uncharted territory.
And that's where we'll leave you for now. Take some time to think about these ideas, and we'll be back for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore, some of the implications of AI based on Heidegger's philosophy.
Until then, keep asking questions and stay curious. Welcome back. We're in the final stretch of our Heidegger and AI exploration, and
Scenes are about to get real?
Yeah, things are about to get real.
It's happening.
We've covered a lot of ground, from Dasein to thrownness to the very question of being, but now it's time to kind of bring it all home and answer the big question.
Okay.
What does this all mean for us in the real world?
And more importantly, what does it mean for the future we're creating with AI?
Because let's be honest, AI isn't some far off idea anymore.
Right.
It's here, it's evolving fast, and it's bringing up some serious ethical questions.
You're right. And Heidegger's work, I think, with its focus on authenticity, responsibility, and technology, really gives us a way to look at those questions.
One thing that keeps coming up in the news is the potential for AI bias.
Right. It's that problem of Dasein kind of sneaking into our algorithms, right?
Right.
Remember, Heidegger saw Dasein as this force of social conformity, kind of pushing us toward inauthenticity.
Right. And the worry is that if AI systems are trained on data that reflects existing biases,
right,
they'll just keep those biases going, or even make them worse.
Exactly. I mean, we could end up with AI systems making unfair decisions in hiring, loans, or even the justice system that could lead to a lot of injustice.
So what can we do about it? Can we create AI that's truly fair?
that's the million-dollar question, and there's no, easy answer.
Right.
But Heidegger's focus on individual responsibility, I think, gives us,
Oh, okay.
a place to start.
Yeah.
We can't just like trust the technology.
Right.
We need to be, involved in
Yeah.
shaping how it's developed
Yeah.
and used to make sure it aligns with our values.
So it's about holding like ourselves and the tech companies accountable.
Yeah.
We can't just like blame the algorithm.
Exactly. And this is where, I think Heidegger's idea of care is so important.
Okay.
Remember, he saw care as a way of, engaging with the world,
Yeah.
taking responsibility for our actions and how they affect others.
So in the context of AI, care means like thinking about the consequences of these technologies and
Yeah.
using them to, improve human well-being, not harm it.
Exactly. It's about thinking beyond just, the technical parts of AI
Yeah.
and considering the bigger, social and ethical picture.
Okay, bias is one big challenge.
Right.
What about like how AI will affect jobs?
Yeah.
A lot of people are worried about, automation
Yeah.
and losing their jobs.
That's a valid concern, and I think it relates to Heidegger's critique of technology,
Right.
in framing the world, right?
Sure.
If we only see AI as a way to, be more efficient and productive,
Yeah.
we risk turning humans into like just parts of a machine.
Right. That could lead to people feeling alienated
Yeah.
or meaningless or disconnected from their work and each other.
Absolutely. But Heidegger also, believed in human creativity and ingenuity.
Okay.
He saw technology as something that can both, limit us and open up, new possibilities.
So maybe it's not about like stopping AI, but
Mhm.
figuring out how to use it in ways that make us better, that
Yeah.
that create new jobs and
Yeah.
give us like a shared sense of purpose.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance
Yeah.
between, technology and human well-being.
Okay, one last big question to think about. AI consciousness.
Yeah.
We've touched on this throughout the episode,
Yeah.
but what happens if we create machines that are like truly conscious and self-aware?
I mean, that's a huge philosophical and ethical challenge,
Right.
right? And it takes us right back to Heidegger's, main focus.
Right.
The question of being.
Right.
If AI becomes conscious, like what does that mean
Yeah.
for what it means to be human?
And what are like our responsibilities toward these new beings?
Right.
Do they have the same rights as humans?
These are questions we need to start thinking about,
Yeah.
now as a society, like before the technology gets ahead of our
Yeah.
ethical, understanding.
We've covered some like really deep topics today. We
Yeah.
have. But I hope we've shown how philosophy, even a complex thinker like Heidegger,
Yeah.
can help us, navigate the AI world.
It's not about, finding easy answers,
Yeah.
but about asking, the right questions.
Yeah.
Having meaningful conversations
Yeah.
and approaching these technologies with care and responsibility.
And maybe even a little bit of that Heideggerian wonder at the mystery of being in all its forms.
Because who knows what amazing and maybe even scary
Yeah.
discoveries, await us.
On that note, we'll leave you to think about the future of AI and humanity.
Okay.
Keep those minds open, stay curious, and keep diving deep.
Always dive deep.